Okay, so let's go over chapter 2, worksheet part 2 together. Problem 1, solve the following including the units. Let's take care of the unit first. The kilojoule will cancel because they are on the opposite side of the division line. And the joule will cancel, and I'm left with calories. I'm going to plug in the numbers into the calculator. So what I will do is 2.021 times 10 to the 12th times 1,000 over 4.184. When I type this on my calculator, I get 4.83033059 blah 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 time 10 to the 14. I don't remember the unit. We were left with calories, CAL, small letters. Now that we have done this, we're going to take care of sig figs. So let me remove whatever I have here in purple so we'll be able to see what I'm talking about better. So the first number consists of how many sig figs? Scientific notation, so this number in the coefficient has 4 sig figs. The 0 is in between two non-zero digits, so we'll count. The first conversion factor, because this is called a conversion factor, built on the fact that 1 kilojoule is equal to 1,000 joule, because kilo is 10 to the third. In this conversion factor, the only difference is the use of the prefix, so this is an exact conversion factor, okay? And therefore, unlimited, infinite number of sig figs. Move on to the next one. This is another conversion factor right there. And this conversion factor here come from a measurement, okay? So 1 calorie is 4.184 joule. Unless told otherwise, unless you are told that this is a definition, this involves sig fig. So because we're not told anything here and we don't know, we're going to assume that this doesn't come from a definition and therefore this involved 4 sig figs as well. In this problem, it is all about multiplication and division. So we're going to use the rule of least amount of sig fig. Therefore, our answer should be given to 4 sig figs. We're going to drop a 3. Therefore, we're going to round down. And to the correct number of sig fig, our answer will be reported as 4.830 times 10 to the 14 calories. Problem 2 again, solve including the units. So what do we have here? Let's do this. The miles will cancel. The yards will cancel. Keep going. The feet does not cancel. But the hour does cancel as well as the minutes. So we are left with feet per second. So our final unit will be feet per second. Now that we have this, we're going to grab our calculator. 62 times 440 over a quarter times 3 over 60 times 1 over 60. And then we get, per your calculator, 90.9333 and so on. Now we have to do our sig figs. The first number, 62 miles per hour, is measured because it's measured. It's not exact, okay, it has been measured, so I have 2 sig figs here. The second one, take a look at the second conversion factor right there. US and US units, so we stay within the US system. When you stay within the US system, the conversion factor is exact. Let's take a look at the next conversion factor. Again, feet is the US unit, yard is a US unit, so this conversion factor is exact as well. The time that you have to be mindful is, and you have to be careful of the sig figs, is when you switch from a system, the US system, to the metric system and vice versa. What else? Here, 1 hour being 60 minutes. Do you think this is exact? This is common knowledge, okay? There's exactly 60 minutes and an hour. And what about the next one? What about 1 minute being 60 seconds? This is as well exact. And these two last are common knowledge, okay? So 2 sig figs, time exact, time exact, time exact, time exact. So the only sig figs that limit us is the initial number. So this answer will therefore be reported to 2 sig figs. We're going to drop a 9, therefore we will round up and we will report our final answer as being to 2 sig figs, 91 feet per second. Okay, so here are our answers to the correct number of sig figs. So now let's build ourselves, okay, the conversion. It's always the same path that we're gonna follow. You have here a given unit, and here you have the desired unit. We're gonna start with the given units being 1.01 pounds, and at the end we want the desired unit. In between, we have the conversion factor. The conversion factor here is actually provided. There's 454 grams in a pound. Per what I told you before, this is a metric unit, the gram. This is a US unit, therefore sig figs are involved, and this conversion factor consists of 3 sig figs. What we want to do is cancel the given unit, the pink unit, so we're going to put the pound underneath in order for the pound to cancel, and we will have in our conversion factor the given unit, the desired unit at the top, so the desired unit, we keep it. We will use this relationship to build our conversion factor. 1 pound is 454 grams. What you will do next is type this in your calculator, and you get 458.54 grams. Once you type this in your calculator, you're going to follow up with your sig figs. I have 3 sig figs here. I have 3 sig figs here. So my answer will be given to 3 sig figs as well, because I go with the least amount of sig figs. We're going to drop a 5, therefore we're going to round up, and our answer will be given to 3 sig figs as 459 grams. Let's convert now the given unit of feet into the desired unit of yard, and we're given this conversion factor between feet and yard, and we have here 2 US units. Therefore, this conversion factor is exact. Starting with 36.5 feet, what I want is yard. Therefore, I'm going to cancel the feet, the given units, and at the top I will have the yard, and we will use this conversion factor here, this relationship here, sorry, to fill the blank in our conversion factor right there. Every yard is 3 feet. Check that the unit canceled properly. Your feet cancels here, therefore we can give our answer to yard. Plug this into your calculator and you get a calculator answer, and the answer on your calculator screen is 12.1666 and so on. We still have to do our sig figs. We have 3 sig figs here. In the middle it's exact, so the only sig figs that we have to worry is the one of the given units. We will give our answer to 3 sig figs, dropping a 6, rounding up, so our answer to the correct number of sig fig is 12.2 yard. Another one here, usually the one that the students struggle the most with because it involves prefixes, converting 43.9 micrometer into meter. So you're given micrometer and you want meter. So yes, you are given here the conversion factor, the relationship. 1 micrometer is 10 to the negative 6 meter, because micro is 10 to the negative 6. The little trick to remember is that the 1 is always on the side of the prefix, and the power of 10, you will always write it, the value, on the opposite side. Okay, so the prefix and the power of 10 are always on the opposite side. So let's start. 43.9 micrometer, and what I want at the end is meter. Therefore, I will need to cancel the micrometer and convert to meter. My micrometers cancel, and I keep the final unit, the desired unit, as being the meters. Using the relationship as a conversion factor, remember that here I have my prefix, so the 1 goes here, and on the opposite side I have the value for the prefix. Okay, if you do this, it will work all the time. Plug this into your calculator and you will get 4.39 times 10 to the negative 5 sig figs wise, 3 sig figs here, 3 sig figs in my answer, and in the middle, remember that this is just a prefix difference between the two units, and therefore this conversion factor that only involves prefixes is exact. Okay, it's metric to metric, just changing the size of the units using the prefix. What about the next one? A sheet of notebook paper has an area of 603.22 square centimeter. What is the area of this paper in square feet? Knowing that 1 foot is 30.48 centimeter. Well, let's first proceed and figure out that we are given square centimeter and we want square feet. Therefore, very similarly than we did for the last problems, 603.22 centimeter square, and what I want at the end is square feet. Therefore, I will need to cancel my square centimeter and get my square feet at the top. So I will keep them. If I look at the relationship that was given to me, it was given to me to the power of 1. Well, guess what? Not an issue. What you can actually do is bring to the square the entire relationship. By doing this, you end up with a new relationship, 1 square foot, because 1 square is 1, so I can omit the square with 1, equal 30.48 square centimeter square. It's up to you if you want to do the calculation, if you want to give the result of 30.48 square, but there's no need to do that because you might have a big number and carry over a big number. But now that we have this new relationship, this is what I'm going to use here. The 1 goes in front of square feet. The 30.48 square goes in front of the square centimeter. We are going from a US unit here. This is the relationship between a US and a metric unit. Therefore, sig figs are involved. There is 4 sig figs here. There is 5 sig figs here. So I have 5 sig figs here. I have 4 sig figs here. This is the least amount of sig figs, so that's going to guide my answer. My answer should be given to 4 sig figs. Plug this into your calculator and you get 0.649300 and so on to 4 sig figs. Remember that the leading 0 don't count. I will only keep these, the 6, the 4, the 9, and the 3. For sig figs, I'm going to drop a 0, so round down. My answer to the correct number of sig fig is therefore 0.6493 square feet. Just wanted to show you now that everything that we learned in this chapter could be applied to a unit that you have no idea of, okay? So here in problem 5, you're told that the following relationships describe an antiquated set of British liquid units. 1 hogshead is 7 firkin, 18 pottle is 1 firkin, 140 pottle is 1 puncheon, and 504 pottle is 1 ton. You need to use the concept of dimensional analysis to determine the number of tons. So we want to know how many tons. Therefore, this will be our desired unit in the given unit being the hogshead. So what we'll do is start with, and I'm going to use symbols for that. I'm going to call HGS hogshead. So we have 165 hogshead, and what we want is tons. And I'm going to use T for that one. So at the end, I want tons. Okay. If you look at the relationship that are given to you, there's no direct path. Okay. I see that the hogshead unit is right here, and I see the ton unit at the end. So you're going to have to come up with a path. Well, the only relationship that you have where hogshead is involved consists of hogshead to firkin. So that's going to be our first step. We're going to start with hogshead, and we're going to convert them into firkin. So we're going to convert to firkin and cancel the hogshead. That's going to be here, our first step. And I'm just looking at unit for now. Then, what do I see? I see that firkin are just here involved in only one relationship, and we get pottle. Not a problem. So I'm going to use T for pottle. Therefore, my second step will be to go from firkin to pottle. So I'm going to convert everything to firkin to pottle, and I'm going to cancel the firkin. When I have this, I see that there is two relationships for pottle. I know how many, the relation between pottle and puncheon, but I know as well the relationship between pottle and ton. Well, ton is what I want, and I see here that this relationship right there will allow me to actually convert pottle to ton directly, which is the unit that I desire. Therefore, I will convert pottle into tons by canceling the pottle units. Let's fill in the blank. There is, per the first relationship, 7 firkin and 1 hogshead. Per the second relationship, there's 18 pottle in 1 firkin. And per the fourth relationship, there's 504 pottle in 1 ton. Because all of these units here are within the same system, the British liquid units, they are all exact. Therefore, they have an infinite number of sig figs. When you plug this into the calculator, you will get 41.25 ton. But sig figs wise, initially I have 3 sig figs. Therefore, my answer should be given to 3 sig figs as well, dropping a 5, therefore rounding up. And when I convert 165 hogshead into tons, I get 41.3 tons to the correct number of sig figs. Next problem. This one is in relation with the medical field. We have a patient that weighs 85.7 pounds, probably a kid, right? Or a very, very thin person. The doctor orders a medication that should be given at a dosage of 3.85 milligram of medicine per kilogram of body weight. How many 25 milligram tablets of medicine should be given to the patient? Well, here, remember, you want to give medicine to a patient. You have, therefore, to perform some dimensional analysis to be sure that you're giving the right amount of medicine to your patient. And if you do not do this correctly, the consequences might be deadly, okay? Because either you give them too much medicine and the person dies, or you don't give them enough and the person dies anyway because they haven't received the required amount of medicine. Not to put pressure on you, okay? But this is just a situation, just to tell you that you can apply dimensional analysis everywhere. So here, what do we need to do? The best way is to extract the data, analyze the problem, and figure out what is given, where should I start, where do I need to go, okay? It's very easy to figure out what the problem is asking for. The problem is actually asking you how many tablets of medicine. So ultimately, that's what you want. Your final unit here will be the tablets. How many do you need to give your patient? What other information do you see here? Well, you're told that they are 25 milligram tablets. So what this means? I can write a relationship here. Every tablet consists of 25 milligram of medicine. I put the small m for medicine, okay? What else do I know? Well, I'm given here an information about the dosage. I'm told that for every kilogram of patients, the dosage is 3.85 milligram of medicine. So for every kilogram of patient, I have to give 3.85 milligram of medicine. This gives me another relationship. Every time you can write a relationship, you will be able to build a conversion factor. So this is not your starting point. Therefore, what's the starting point is what I'm left with. I'm left with my patient weight, 85.7 pounds. This is where our world starts. So I need to start from 85.7 pounds. Now, I have pounds of patient, okay, because that's my patient weight. But I see here kilogram of patient. So my first idea is, I have to go from pounds of patient to kilogram of patient. Once I have my kilogram of patient, then I know that I can easily go from my kilogram of patient to milligram of medicine, because I have here a relationship that allows me to build this conversion factor. Then when I have milligram of medicine, guess what? I see they are here. I can easily go from milligram of medicine to tablets. Therefore, I will be able to cancel the milligram of medicine, convert this into tablets by using this relationship. So the only information that I'm missing is here. But the relationship between kilogram and pound is something very common. You will find this information in your textbook or in the useful information paper. And 1 kilogram is equivalent to 2.205 pounds. Therefore, I can build my conversion factor. 1 kilogram is equivalent to 2.205 pounds. By using the purple relationship, I can write my second conversion factor. 1 kilogram of patient is 3.85 milligram of medicine. And using the orange relationship, I know that every tablet contains 25 milligrams of med. Always check your unit before you move on, before you even spend time typing on your calculator. So your pounds of patient cancel, your kilogram of patient cancel, your milligram of medicine cancel, and you're left with tablets, which was your goal. You wanted to convert the pounds of patient into tablets. Now you can plug this into your calculator. So the calculator gives you 5.9853 and so on per your calculator, but sig figs wise, let's take a look at this. I see here my patient weight has been measured, so I have 3 sig figs here. For the next conversion factor, I go from the metric system to the US system, kilograms to pounds. Therefore, I have here 4 sig figs involved. In the next one, it's a dosage, so dosage have to be measured. If they are measured, this is not exact. So I have as well here sig figs involved, 3 sig figs right here. Okay, again, because the dosage is measured. And then when you make tablets, it's something that is measured as well. Therefore, sig figs are involved. This is not exact, and I have 2 sig figs here. I see 3 sig figs, 4 sig figs, 3 sig figs, 2 sig figs. So this is what's guiding my answer. The least amount of sig fig. We're doing only multiplication and division. The answer should be given to 2 sig figs. We're going to drop an 8, round up. Therefore, this patient should be given 6 tablets of medicine. Thank you, and let me know if you have any question. Have a good day.